Hey guys, I know it's been a while. Been having to deal with a lot of things with my health, so I haven't really been around as I have been in the past, and I apologize for that. But Drew Danger here, ready to talk with you guys, ready to represent as usual. Okay, so today's theme is the original 1973 rollerball, decked out in the orange. My son actually is playing t-ball, and they were wearing all orange, so I felt like wearing all orange. And the only orange thing I had was my rollerball shirt. Jonathan, Jonathan. If you guys know that movie, it's a great film. I would tell everyone, please check out Rollerball. James Caan is in it. If you're familiar with him, he was in The Godfather as Sonny, Michael Corleone's older brother. So he's a great actor, done a lot of movies. Brian Song with Billy D. Williams. He's in Vegas Vacation. He was in Thief, which is a great movie, by the way. Michael Mann, that's why I was thinking for a minute. Michael Mann, it was one of his first movies. He did Heat. He's done Miami Vice, the television series, and the movie. He's done a ton of stuff that's really good. The Miami Vice movie wasn't as great as the show. It was a little bit of a downer, but Thief was his first movie. If you like Heat with Al Pacino and Robert De Niro and Val Kilmer and Tom Sizemore, I highly recommend that movie. Fantastic. But yeah, check out James Caan films. He's usually always got some great stuff. He's been around on the block for a long time. But anyway, today's video, I wanted to talk about Viking Samurai and the Kung Fu Genius. I've followed their channels for a while. I recently reached out to Viking Samurai, and we've kind of, talked back and forth in comments. And I wanted to share my thoughts about their channel, about both their channels, because I noticed that these guys, they get a lot of heat for basically representing martial arts in a really positive way, in life in a really positive way. And I don't think that they should get the heat that they get for being such positive guys. And I've just noticed a pattern, and I wanted to briefly touch on just that idea in general, which is whenever you're out there doing positive things and trying to be a positive person and trying to live a positive life, and you're going about your day and your life in those ways, people tend to hate on you. Oh my goodness. For those of you that know, I'm on the Judge Joe Brown show. And on that show, when I speak about certain subjects, I could be hitting it right on the head. But because of people's weird hang-ups, they start a lot of nonsense. A lot of it is because of the way I talk. A lot of it is because of who I'm married to. A lot of it has a lot to play into it, and all of it is nonsense. Absolutely nonsense. And I get a lot of heat from the black community. And I don't let it bother me, but it is kind of annoying, and it does make you go like this because, people just don't open their minds. So back on the Kung Fu Genius and Viking Samurai, they try to get people to open their minds and to understand things. And a lot of issue is you have people that really don't understand martial arts. For those of you that know, I haven't got in depth with it completely yet, but it's coming, about my martial arts background, which I do have. And I enjoy martial arts. I love it. I think that it is an amazing thing. Now, with that being said, much like Kung Fu Genius and Viking Samurai, we enjoy it for what it is. We're not going down the alley. We're not trying to get in the cage. We're not, that sort of thing. We enjoy martial arts. A lot of people don't understand. the three of us, myself, Kung Fu Genius, and Viking Samurai, grew up in another time where the UFC was happening later on, but originally we were used to a time when martial arts was in a different place. And people didn't disrespect it like they do now. I see a lot of disrespect in the martial art world from people that really don't know martial arts, or people that do a lot of MMA, are obsessed with the UFC. I love the UFC. I respect it. George St. Pierre is my dude. Ken Shamrock is my guy. And I have nothing but love and respect for those guys. Utmost respect. But there's something in the culture, not all, but there's just some people that really disrespect martial arts, that disrespect Bruce Lee, that disrespect a lot of martial art practitioners for many, many years, that have been around for a lot of years. Okay? And I've noticed that they have no problem, and that they're extremely disrespectful. So this is why I wanted to make this video, is because, guys, we got to do better. Let me put it to you like this. Guys like Bruce Lee, Chuck Norris, Benny the Jet Urquidez, Superfoot Bill Wallace, Mike Stone, Joe Louis, the martial artist, not the boxer, but I'm a fan of his too, and I'm going to put him in there. Both Joe Louises. I'm going to say Master Jeff Speakman, who inspired me and was the first celebrity martial artist I had ever seen in my life. And I don't mean that in a way like, oh, he did movies. No, he was a martial artist first, and then later on in his life he did some movies. But he is the student of one Ed Parker, who I'm putting down here, as well as Lou Angel. He was another student of, who did Goju karate first, and then he went to Ed Parker to do Kempo. And if you've seen The Perfect Weapon, you see how awesome that movie is. And he's got Speakman 5.0, where he's incorporated a lot of things for the street and to deal with people that are into grappling and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So that's what I'm saying, is there's all these guys out there, and ladies, Cynthia Rothrock, let's not forget, Kathy Long, and of course Bruce Lee's daughter Shannon Lee, all study. Kathy Long was one of the top women champions, and so was Cynthia Rothrock. We don't give, and Cynthia Rothrock, hold on, Cynthia Rothrock fought guys because there weren't enough women in the competition days when she was doing it, and she had to end up sparring against guys and won. So you're looking at really elite, exceptional people that deserve respect. Okay? And for people to disrespect them is a slap in the face to the art. Okay? Because a lot of people today that are like, oh yeah, man, MMA, like a lot of them don't know this knowledge. They don't know Ron Van Cleef. They don't know Ty Mucgarello. They don't know Ernie Reyes Jr. and Sr. They don't know these guys or these ladies. They don't know them. They don't even know, a lot of them don't even know who Sammo Young is. Okay? Or some obvious ones. Some of them don't even know who Jean-Claude Van Damme is. And so I just see a disrespect. And I remember when I was working one time on, I think it was last year. Yeah, it was last year. And one young guy came over to me, and I was talking, and he's standing there, and I'm talking to another coworker, and he's maybe about, I don't know, 15. And he's standing there and he looks at me, he's all, I could take you. And I'm like, excuse me? And it just came out of nowhere. I wasn't talking about I was talking about normal everyday stuff with the coworker, but I had this young kid come over to me and go, I could take you. And I go, what do you mean? First off, who are you? And can I help you with something going on? And he's just like, no, I just wanted to say I could take you. You don't look like you could do much. You're super skinny. Because I have a toned look. I'm not a bulky guy. I work out 7 days a week. My workouts are very tone incorporated. So I have more of a slender, lean kind of look, I guess is the best way to put it. And so he tells me this, and I'm looking at him going, kid, look, I'm from Southern California. You're from this state. Let me tell you something. When I was your age, I wouldn't have dared to walk up to anybody to say that because you don't know who you're dealing with. And that's the problem with today's culture, is that people feel like they can just flap their mouths, that they can get on, social media platforms, type out things and keyboard warrior it and all that stuff like that. Back in the day when I was growing up, that meant something. Like if you said something to somebody, it made an issue and they came to see you. It didn't matter if you were in the martial arts. It didn't matter if you were into sports, whatever. You made an issue like that. You called down the gauntlet. They brought the thunder and they were coming to look at you. If it didn't matter what grade you were in, how old you were, how young you were, people brought that down. So now we live in a world where people just run their mouths and aren't confronted a lot of times by the very thing they're running their mouths about. And I think that we need to bring the respect back to the world. I think people need to respect individuals, especially those that have worked extremely hard, like those guys in the martial art worlds that are legends. And I think that we need to less put down people and really know what we're talking about and really know what we're up against and really respect and appreciate. Had it not been for Bruce Lee, okay, first I want to say people are saying all this stuff and things like that, and people back in the day making comments, it's because Bruce Lee's not alive. People didn't say that stuff when Bruce Lee was around, okay? Because Bruce Lee confronted them about it. There's a story about Chuck Norris about how he was saying some things that weren't cool, about how he did this to Bruce and did that to Bruce. And Bruce found out and told him and said, hey, is there an issue? And he's like, oh, no, there's no issue. He's like, okay, if there's no issue, then admit, you're teaching class right now, right? Admit to all of your students right now on the phone. I want you to turn the phone so I can hear you say it, that I taught you lots of new techniques and ideas and philosophies that now you are using and ideas that you were using, And he did it. He said, yeah, Bruce taught me. I learned from him. And he had to do that. See, Bruce confronted it. Because he's not around anymore, people feel that they can just say whatever about him, whether if it's Wong Jack Man and any of his disciples or whoever. There's all these people, and I see a lot of people in the MMA world training in mixed martial arts, that respect Bruce, and that's awesome. But I see some that really disrespect him. And I think that it goes too far, with how people perceive stuff. And a perfect example is Quentin Tarantino, about how he speaks about Bruce Lee and how disrespectful he is. And that portrayal of him in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is so disrespectful and such a slap in the face. That was meant just to degrade Bruce Lee. Whether if you're a fan or not doesn't matter. He just used it to degrade him, and that's not good. That's not good at all. We've got to be better than that. Kung Fu Genius and Viking Samurai put out great content. I'm a huge fan of their channels. I love what they do. I love their positive vibes. I like how they, and I like Goldenbell as well. I think that's correct. Goldenbell. The young man named Prince. Actually, he might be a little bit older than me. So, but I like Prince. I think that those three channels really bring a positive outlook to life and to martial arts and to training. And I would encourage people, before you get on social media and start running your mouth and being negative, why don't you learn something first? Why don't you learn to be a better person? Why don't you act better than that and act like you have some home training? And if you really are curious about martial arts, why don't you train in martial arts or MMA, and learn something and be respectful of those that have paved the way for you to do what you do. Bruce Lee paved the way in martial arts for us to do as much as we have done. And he paved the way for martial arts, for cinema, fitness, numerous things. And without him contributing in life, we wouldn't have what we have now. Chuck Norris paved the way for a lot of things. Jean-Claude Van Damme paved the way for a lot of things. Whether if you like these guys or not, you're like, man, that guy was a point fighter or he wasn't real. You know what? Doesn't matter. He paved the way. Okay? He paved the way for us to have the things that we have in the future. Jackie Chan, Sammo Young, they paved the way. Taimak Guerrero paved the way. If you're not familiar with Taimak, you've seen The Last Dragon, he played Leroy. He paved the way. Michael Jai White paved the way. They made it possible for us to be here. So we've got to give respect where respect is due. You don't have to like it. You don't have to like them. But you do have to respect people. And that's what I'm saying. You got to respect people. And you got to respect these channels that are out there putting good content to educate you, to have those good, positive conversations, even conversations to challenge the narrative. Right now, Viking Samurai has the whole thing with Frank Dukes. Now, Frank Dukes, I don't know. I respect him. I don't think that he is a fraud. I think that he is a very talented martial artist, if we say that. I think that he has an interesting history. There could be some things definitely in question. But to say the man is not a gifted martial artist, to say the man is not talented, especially in the prime of his day, would be ridiculous. He definitely was. I just think there's a lot of things going on. But Viking Samurai is trying to bring this information out for us to make the decision for ourselves, to have Frank on the show, Sheldon Lettich, other people that were involved with him. So then you could kind of base your own opinion, and you got to respect that, because the dude is going out of his way to get those questions answered for us, when a lot of people won't even start a YouTube channel, when a lot of people won't even try to interview these guys, when a lot of people just are like, whatever, he's taking that time to do that. So you got to give it up to him. It's that saying. It's like, well, if you want to change the world or you want to do something, change it. Do something. Make a start. Change your life. Go out there. Do something to make things better. But a lot of people don't answer the call. A lot of people just want to sit up and talk trash and be negative and this and that and hate on you. And people are so mixed up on hating with people. We live in a time now where we just hate on people for anything. It's like, I've got this, my wedding ring is a lightsaber design. Somebody's probably hating on me. How come he's got a lightsaber ring? I want a lightsaber ring. How dare he do that? It's petty. It's ridiculous. And that's the problem. And another thing is, we've got these people that want to talk about this stuff, but none of them want to step up to the plate. It's funny, we have people that keyboard and do all that stuff. If somebody said, hey, like my brother OG Silverback, he's done that a million times in the past videos that he's done, where he's just like, hey, if you got a problem, come meet me down at this UFC gym or whatever gym he's at that day. And he's like, yeah, tell him you're looking for OG Silverback and we'll get down. We'll fight. We'll see what's going on. You think you got some knowledge, you think you could do this? Okay, we'll see if you want to do it like that. And you have people that won't even challenge that, but they want to say and be all negative and cause problems and issues. I'm a peaceful guy. I'm not a violent guy. I'm just saying that there's just a level of respect and disrespect. And there's just a ton of disrespect that people have just for each other. We're in a chaotic world, even outside of martial arts. We're just being bitter and strange and negative towards each other. So I would say, in this day and age, let's try to be better. Let's try to do better. Let's try to take the influence from Viking, Samurai, Kung Fu Genius, Goldenbell, Prince, and try to be positive. And let's try to give something back to those guys on their channels. Have some good conversations. Learn something. Be positive instead of being negative. And I think that if we do that, all of us, that we can make the world a little bit of a better place. And as Bruce Lee always put it, underneath the skies and heavens, we are all part of God's family. And we are all part of this great universe, And I think that we have lost our way. We're at conflict with so many things. We're so wrapped up in negative social media. Social media could be a very positive thing, but people take it and they act very negative about it. And I just think that we could be better than that, That's really what I had to say about that. And I hope these guys continue on with their channel. I'd love to be on their channel if I am honored by that one day. I know these guys are busy and they've got bigger platforms than me. But yeah, I've definitely put the feels out there that, I would like to engage with these guys and, do some things and discuss around positive martial arts people. I definitely would. Because positive people make you better. And they open your mind to a lot of different ideas, maybe things you never would have thought of. So I'm very glad that these guys are out there putting out good content. I'm sorry if I'm a little cloudy, guys. You guys know I'm going through some health issues. I don't feel very good. If I said something backwards, that's due to a stroke I had years ago, or if I get lost and clouded out. So I'm very sorry about that. But yeah, guys, I'll be around trying to get on here more. I promise. It's just kind of difficult. This is kind of going to be the journey with my health and everything like that. So I'm thankful for you guys. Please tell everybody about me, because it's not so much, oh, look at all these subscribers. It's just more, I just want to share knowledge and connect with people while I'm here. That's really what it's about. So if you could share this to help someone, hey, God bless you. That's awesome. If you forget, that's okay too. I know life is difficult and busy. So anyway, guys, I'm going to try to do more videos more frequently. Thank you so much. And D's for Danger, Drew Danger out. Thank you so much.